What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. You're not going to believe this, but Donald Trump is winning the election in 2024. Oh my heavens, there are a lot of bad signs for Kamala Harris, but the Real Clear Politics polling average showing that Donald Trump is ahead in every single swing state, every single one. This is, by the way, this is the average of all the polls together, and the vast majority of the polls over-index Democrats. So Donald Trump's probably up by even more than this. Oh, baby. The betting markets have now tanked Kamala Harris. And even Nate Silver, who is the darling of all left-wing pollsters, saying that Donald Trump is far more the favorite to win the presidency. This is happening right after Kamala Harris went on Fox News and effectively destroyed her campaign. Maybe this is why Joe Biden's wearing Trump hats. I don't know. Bret Baier saying that Kamala Harris is a late, abusive, aggressive, rude person with tons of staff that were freaking out, screaming and waving their arms at him. What exactly did Kamala Harris have to do last night? Nobody knows. Where was she going? Was she late for happy hour? Bret Baier slams Kamala Harris for being late to testy interview, accusing her of icing the kicker. Uh-oh. Bret Baier seems like a very even-keeled dude. So if you're pissing him off, you've done something wrong. Fox News host Bret Baier reveals some rocky details about the interview with Kamala Harris, including that she showed up late, very late for their sit-down, and she tried to filibuster with her answers to prevent him from pressing her on hot-button issues. Baier suggested it was like the vice president's team was trying to ice the kicker, comparing it to a football coach calling timeout before the field goal to put the kicker on their toes and build pressure. He also said he didn't frequently interrupt the VP. He likely would have only been able to fit in a total of 4 questions in their nearly 30 minutes together, actually 25 minutes together. Vice President's team also tried to shorten the time allocated for the taped but unedited interview, the anchor said during an on-air conversation of their chat. Baier said members of Harris's campaign waved their arms frantically as they pushed to wrap the interview. We were also supposed to start at 5 p.m. That was the time they gave, Baier explained. Originally, we were going to sit down for 25 to 30 minutes. They came in and said maybe 20. So it was already getting whittled down. Ended up being 25, but they showed up 15 minutes late. The vice president showed up at about 5:15. We're pushing the envelope to be able to turn this around for 6 o'clock. So that's how it started, he continued. And I could tell when we started talking that it was going to be tough to redirect without trying to interrupt. Baier grilled the VP for the 20 minutes during her first interview with the conservative network, taped in Pennsylvania, and it was a complete freaking disaster. Of course, you've seen it all. The clip that keeps like making the rounds, of course, is Kamala Harris like screaming and shaking and wagging her finger,
locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy, and in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
Shut up, lady. Calm down. Hey, calm down. Will you please? Is that what you're supposed to say in times like these? Calm down. Yeah. All right. Bret Baier saying effectively that the little agents of Kamala Harris were screaming and waving their arms at him.
You've been on the other side. You've been on the rapper as a press secretary interviewing a president. And, I'm talking like 4 people waving their hands like it's got to stop. So, Martha, I had to dismount there at the end. There's so many things, and she maybe should do more of these.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. The problem is she doesn't do any adversarial interviews. So Kamala Harris has no idea what the real world is. She has no idea that anybody criticizes her at all. She has no idea that the vast majority of the country hates her, right? And she attempted to sabotage this interview herself.
Timeout right before he's going to kick the field goal. They're icing the kicker. So we were supposed to start at 5 p.m. This was the time they gave us. Originally, we were going to do 25 or 30 minutes. They came in and said, well, maybe 20. So it was already getting whittled down. And then the vice president showed up about 5:15. We were pushing the envelope to be able to turn it around for the top of the 6 o'clock. So that's how it started. And I could tell when we started talking that she was going to be tough to redirect without me trying to interrupt. I did this with President Obama. At one point, I just said, Mr. President, I know you like the filibuster. I just didn't even have the chance to sometimes redirect in those ways.
Kamala staff freaking out. Kamala staff waving their arms. They were already late, sabotaging the interview. Showed up 17 minutes late. That's how bad things are going. It's totally unreal. Kamala's team watching the Fox News interview. Reporter, how was the interview? It was good. It was not good. Kamala Harris walking away very, very angrily here. You can see Kamala Harris not happy. Very teeny, by the way. Kamala, very, very short person. Very Napoleon syndrome. Bret Baier said that Kamala showed up at 5:17, despite a promise that the interview would start at 5 and last for 30 minutes to give Fox enough time to turn around the interview. Kamala didn't want a live interview and then started the taped interview almost 20 minutes late before aides cut it short. And despite their game playing on pressure, Kamala still imploded. Yeah, the memes.
U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the elite.
Yes, may I finish responding, please? But you have to let me finish.
You had the White House and the House and the Senate, and they didn't bring up that bill.
I'm in the middle of responding to the point you're raising, and I'd like to finish.
I'd like to finish as she's being dragged away, throwing in the towel, right? These are towels being thrown in. Stop the fight! Stop the fight! Clown car staffers. Oh, man. Just insanity. Just so funny. That was about they tried to rig it. Arriving 17 minutes late. Look at that. So much for the it's too late to replace Kamala. We really liked Joe Biden and pretend everything went okay with the Fox News. Yeah. This is the response to the Fox News interview. Just revealed Kamala Harris showed up late, shortening the time for the interview. Well done by Bret Baier. I think he did a great job. Just a great job. Kamala Harris purposely showing up late to give Bret Baier as little time as possible to ask questions. Kamala shows up late, shrinks the time of the interview, and Bret Baier is rude. No, Kamala Harris is rude. She was the one screaming at the top of her lungs, and then like her team forcing the interview to end.
And they're giving me a hard rap.
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you.
Kamala Harris, mad. She big mad. Very little person, but she's big mad about all of this. I think there's a lot to be mad about, but not the Fox News interview. I think this is what actually makes you. This is what should make them the most mad. A map like this. Ooh, baby. Yeah, you're in a bad way when you're losing Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Nevada, Georgia, and North Carolina. Boy, you are having an early night on election night. That's what we're hoping for. Let's go win. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.